What it do, good people? Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, today I bring you yet another book review. I've got a ton of book reviews, by the way. If you are stumbling on this video, you don't know who I am and what I do, I have a ton. I will put my book review playlist in the cards so you can check out more of these videos. Anyway, I posted on my Instagram, and yeah, I posted this on my Instagram and I asked people if they wanted to see a review of this because I wasn't too sure that people would be interested, but people were interested, so this is why I'm reviewing it. And so this book is called After Tears, and it's based mostly in Soweto, South Africa. It is based in 1999, so it spans from November 1999 into about May, June the following year. The protagonist, his name is Bafana. Bafana was a law student at UCT. He failed his last year, does not tell his mom that he's failed. He goes home. Instead of telling the truth, he says UCT is not releasing his results because he hasn't paid his tuition. So his story is believable. His mother believes him and then goes into like wanting to raise money for Bafana so he can get his results and start working. So that's the plot. That's what happens. So we follow Bafana as he gets, he leaves Cape Town to go back to Soweto to be with his family. His entire family thinks, he is about to be an advocate, like anytime soon. He's about to be a lawyer anytime soon. They're just waiting on the results, but we know that that's not the case. So we just follow around Bafana as he tries to navigate his lies. So eventually his mom comes up with a plan to sell the house where Bafana and his uncle are currently living, so they can raise about 20,000, I think it was 20,000 grand, so he can go pay his tuition and get his results. So the first few pages were very enjoyable for me. I would say the first few chapters, to be fair, let's be fair. The first few chapters were very enjoyable to me. I related so much and I understood what Bafana was going through. I was also at UCT. I know the student life when your parents, your family cannot even afford to pay your tuition. I know the life of being like sick to your stomach as you go to the notice board and you're looking at your results. So I think I loved the first few parts because I was like, man, this resonates. I've gone through this and I understand the pain of, such a situation. I found Bafana's uncle very funny because Bafana lives with his uncle when he comes back to Soweto. I found him funny. I found the banter that he had with his friends funny. And also like it felt like a very familiar character, yeah. But then I quickly got tired of the uncle and his friends just because they are the type of characters that are sexist, that are xenophobic, that are just pretty much very ignorant. I don't know if that's a horrible thing to say, but they're very ignorant. And every single time they would speak, I'd be like, please stop. What you're saying is completely offensive. It's completely wrong. But understanding the context the book is written in, the time in which it's written in, I'm like, okay, I understand why this is believable. Yeah, but it didn't make it any less easy, to be honest. Some of their opinions was really hard for me to even sit with, but I get what the author was trying to do. yeah, and I guess he was being realistic. It's realistic. There are a lot of people who think like that. There are a lot of people who have those type of opinions. So I guess in that sense it made sense, but it wasn't easy for me to read. It was just like so much misinformation between these characters when it comes to HIV and AIDS. So much misinformation. So there was one character there who, I think she was a nurse if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, she was the one character who countered a lot of the things the ignorant uncle and his friends were saying. So yeah, yeah. Oh, the misinformation was so cringy. I won't lie. But like I said, I get it. So also on top of the certain characters being very ignorant, I also had slightly challenging time in how the author was describing the female characters. Um, it came across slightly objectifying just because the descriptions were always about, oh, she would have been beautiful if her nose was like this, or she would have had a nice figure if it weren't for this, or she would have been hot if it weren't for this. Do you know what I mean?
No, I just no. I wanted to know. No. I wanted to
Yeah, I just thought there is a better way of describing female characters other than objectifying. And maybe again, that is just the reality of maybe someone like Bafana. Yeah, but I did not necessarily vibe with that. So this book has a few themes, as you can imagine from what I've told you so far about the book. And Bafana coming from a township with him struggling to pay his tuition and the mom really struggling as well to support him. There's a lot of talks about poverty and how people are living, you know, how people are living, how people are suffering because, the post apartheid government isn't really adhering to the promises they made. So there's a lot of talk around that. The characters also talk a lot about HIV/AIDS. I've already touched on that, on some of the ignorant things. Yeah, there's a lot of that. And Bafana's cousin, actually, cousin, right? Yeah, Bafana's cousin is living with HIV and his mom passed away because of it. And there's another character that dies because of it. So yeah, there's a lot of that that definitely comes up as a theme. And I can see why, because the book is based in 1999, right? Even though the book was written in 2007. Another theme that comes up is xenophobia, I guess, and foreigners. Yeah, because one of Bafana's friend, they used to be at UCC together and she's now working as a doctor. There's like a situation that happens there. And there's also like another character who's from Nigeria, I think, and he eventually becomes business partners with Bafana. Um, yeah, so I think those are the most dominant themes, I think. Okay, so in terms of character development, I mean the main character, the protagonist, I I will be honest and say I walked away not really understanding who he is. Did I know what he was going through? Did I know um his life situation? Sure, but I did not walk away knowing who he is, if that makes sense. Okay, friends, so that was my review of After Tears. I think I was very honest about the things that I struggled with this book. And it's always hard as a reviewer to be honest because as someone who's a writer too, I understand the amount of work it takes to put a book together. But also at the same time, I just want to be honest with you guys in case you want to pick it up in terms of what I struggled with and what you could potentially struggle with. But if you're looking for something that is simply written, I would say go for it. It's an easy read, it's easy to get through. There are a lot of moments of just laughing out loud, definitely that. There are also a few frustrating bits. Anyway, friends, so I'm going to wrap up this video here. Thank you so much for watching. You know the dealio. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Um, I think I'm at 350. If we can get to 1,000 soon, how amazing would that be? Yeah, so help me please achieve those goals and like this video so people like yourself can, can see the video. It's always weird saying goodbye. But yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye here and take care of yourself and happy reading. Yes, happy reading. Bye.